Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be giving you a closer look at the interior of Ruby. Ruby is an XT Premium, which means she came with the black and gray interior with full leather seats front and rear, as well as the gigantic moonroof. Not as big as you get in a Tesla though. On the steering wheel, shifter, and handbrake, I have wrapped it in a light gray paracord to match the rest of the light gray interior. This was actually really easy to do, and you can just follow tons of tutorials online of how to stitch onto your steering wheel. Although be warned, it does take a few hours to do, and your hands will probably be blistered by the end of it. But I think the result is absolutely worth it. It gives the steering wheel lots of extra grip. It just looks and feels great too. This is my switch panel. All of my lights all around the car can be controlled with these switches. An essential part of any modified turbo Subaru is, of course, the Cobb access port. The center console has had a lot of work done to it. I hated the silver factory trim piece, so I took it out and I plasti-dipped it with dark gray, and it actually looks and holds up great. If you remember back, about a year ago, this was originally dark green. I ended up not really liking the dark green anymore, and so I decided to go with dark gray. This head unit was actually the very first modification I ever did to Ruby, because when I first got the car, it had the stock radio that only played CDs and radio. I don't listen to any of those, so it was pretty much useless to me. So the very first thing I did was upgraded the radio to this one that accepts USB as well as Bluetooth. Now in today's world it's a bit dated, and I probably should upgrade it soon with a nice big touchscreen. I didn't have any need for an ashtray or a cigarette lighter, so I replaced it with this nice trim piece that I've added a regular 12-volt outlet, 2 USB charging outlets, and a volt gauge. Below that is everyone's favorite. This is the center diff lock switch. By simply flipping that switch, I can lock the center differential, which turns Ruby into a 4-wheel drive, and it is no longer all-wheel drive. This shift knob is actually from Get a Grip shifters that I have of course wrapped with paracord. This Midland CB radio has actually been really amazing. This is of course attached to the antenna on the back of the car. Don't let its size fool you. It's packed full of features and works really, really well. And this just simply fits into a regular mount. Now you may notice this little guy sitting here. This is the bass control knob for my sound system. Now the stock speakers are pretty terrible, so I replaced the full sound system with really good aftermarket speakers all around the car, including an 8-inch powered sub underneath the passenger seat. Up under the mirror, I have a dash cam and a radar detector. I think it's incredibly important for every person to have a dash cam. Not only does it keep me and people around me safe, it's also fun to pull footage from crazy things I see on the road. Well, everyone knows what a radar detector is for. When I first got Ruby, she had horrible stock carpet floor mats, and that just wouldn't fly for me. So I was able to find these Subaru branded rubber floor mats, and I have these both in the front and in the back. Up on the roof, I wanted to add extra lighting to the car, so these are KC Highlight ring lights. I believe they're called Cyclone, but I'm not sure on that. I have 3 of these throughout the car, one above the front seats, one above the back seats, and one back there above the cargo area. Moving back to the cargo area, I've done some pretty cool, interesting things back here, starting with the Molly storage rack from Anderson Design Fabrication. I have a fire extinguisher, first aid kit, tire deflator tools, and a hatchet. On the other side, I have another ADF Molly storage rack. This one, I have a handheld spotlight, some recovery gear, and this oil holder that I can use to hold oil, power steering fluid, or other necessary fluids when I go off-road. In this little cubby, I have yet some more recovery gear that couldn't fit in the rack, and that little USB power adapter powers the rear-facing dash cam. And this big bag is an emergency bag my dad made for me. It's full of all of the emergency gear, tools, and anything I need to work and fix my car if I get stranded somewhere. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. There isn't a whole lot to show you on the interior. I'll be doing some more upgrades in the interior soon. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.